Welcome back to the Lorenzo Primerano Show, where we talk about Philly sports, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now, stay tuned for your Philly sports news. Do you want daily sports news and not have to wait every Saturday for the podcast? Visit my Twitter at Lorenzo_12_24 for all the news. Welcome back to the Lorenzo Primerano Show. Make sure you are following my Twitter at Lorenzo_12_24 for daily Philly sports news. Because guess what? This week, I was active on Twitter during the Union game, which is the first segment we're going to get to in this week's episode. If you were following my Twitter, the Union were obliterating the DC United, and it was so fun to watch. I didn't start watching it until the second half, but it was still pretty cool to watch. I got to see 4 goals go in. So the Union were up 5-0 at half. And man, I mean they keep on rolling. They've only lost 2 games this season, but of course having a buttload of ties. But yeah, amazing game. A lot of freaking goals were scored. Actually, it's tied for the largest win by 7 goals, I think. It's tied for the largest, and the Union were 1 goal away from tying the record of having 8 goals in a single MLS game, which was back in 1998. I'm not sure by which team. I didn't get a chance to research that. But, yeah. Oh, man. It was a fun game to watch. The bicycle kick was probably one of my favorites. Pretty cool to see that. Yeah, it was really cool to see all those goals scored. And, man, I'm telling you, this Union team better go far in the playoffs just like they did last year. Alright. So, the Union news, amazing. I cannot believe we're actually reporting on the Union. An amazing game they had. DC United stinks. That's all I gotta say. 7-0. Oh my god. I can't believe they won by that much. Next segment I want to get into is the 76ers. Really nothing happened this week. Besides for James Harden, did stay in Philly for $15 million to help the Sixers with the cap space, with the salary cap. Of course, getting PJ Tucker last week, it's a good fit for James Harden to take that $15 million, so he's not searching for a lot more. I think the contract's for 2 years, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, nothing really happened in Sixers news this week. But I want to go over to the Phillies because something we thought would never happen just a couple weeks ago. I remember talking about them a couple weeks ago, how they were in a slump. They were, I think, maybe 7 games below 500. They are 46-13-9 right now, and they are in the 3rd wild card spot, barely hanging on after they won today, 1-0. The Phillies are now 7-3 in their last 10 games. Look, I'm putting it all out here. Rob Thompson is the best GM in MLB history. No exaggeration, but all jokes aside, the Phillies, if they can keep this crap up, right now they are 7 games above 500, which is where they need to freaking be. And I mean, they have a little more time to get situated as well, which is pretty cool. And of course, Bryce Harper being out at the same time, it's kind of working itself in. We're hoping he does return before the season ends, because if he returns when the playoffs start, doesn't mean he's actually going to play, and all that nonsense that goes through. It's with any sport. So yeah, now they're third in the wild card. Bryce Harper was named an All-Star for the MLB, but guess what? He can't play because of his thumb. So I'm just saying I'm really proud of the Phillies, but the thing is, can they keep it up? They do tend to choke a lot in the past 10, 11 years. They haven't made the playoffs. So don't get your hopes up. Just like I said a couple weeks ago when they just got above 500, don't get your hopes up. But, still have a little faith in this team because I do think we can make the playoffs if we just hang on. Flyers news. The draft was later this week. And we got Cutter Gother. Apparently he's really good. Well, he's not really good, but he's good. I don't really know how to pronounce his name. I think I pronounced his name totally wrong. But I was watching the draft. We got the 5th pick, so of course I'm going to watch it. Shane Wright kept on dropping down. 1, 2, 3. So Arizona had the 3rd pick. And in my head, I'm like, all right. Shane Wright's been passed by Montreal and New Jersey. Both of them did not pick it. I'm surprised Montreal didn't. Montreal didn't pick it. New Jersey didn't pick them. And I'm like, all right, Arizona stinks. They need anyone at this point. They don't even pick Shane Wright. So then I'm like, all right, Seattle's up on the clock. And then, I kind of knew Seattle was going to pick him. Seattle did pick Shane Wright. And we got this Cutter Gother dude. Apparently he's good, but he won't play the first year. He's going to Boston College, so we will not even see any action from him on the NHL ice. Brad Shaw is a new assistant coach for the Flyers. And the big thing that happened this week for the Flyers, Tony Dangelo is a Philadelphia Flyer. The Flyers traded away 3 picks. I don't remember what the picks were for Tony Dangelo. And Tony Dangelo is a Philadelphia Flyer. We needed another defender. I'm assuming it's going to be Provorov and him on the first line. I don't know. Maybe they can arrange something else there, but right now it's looking like Provorov and him. That's enough for Philly news. Well, any Philadelphia sports news, and we're gonna get on to the new segment in just a second. But I do think that the Flyers, because they made a couple of good things right now. The draft, getting Tony Dangelo, if they can get a few more free agency starts up at July 13th, I think I saw. Of course, Claude Giroux's on the market. Maybe he comes back to Philly. Just saying, I would like my precious Claude Giroux to come back to Philly. I know it probably will never happen. I mean, you never see a player leave a team and then come right back the season after. But the one main person I would want to go for is Johnny Gaudreau. He is out on the free agent market right now, and the Flyers, I believe, have so much cap space. They don't have that much cap space, but they have the cap space to sign Johnny Gaudreau. And if they can do that, the Flyers can be set. With Tony Dangelo too. Maybe sign another free agent, not as, big as Johnny Gaudreau, but he might sign a contract with the Calgary Flames. You really never know. Alright, so now on to the new segment, Would You Rather? It's a simple one, but some may not think it's simple. It all depends on the sport you watch and what you think is harder. This is pretty much a question asking, like, what's the hardest to play in the sport. The would you rather for this week is, would you rather win the Stanley Cup or would you rather win 2 Super Bowls? Of course, the comments are going to be on for this video, for this episode. So make sure to put them in the comments. Tell me what your opinion is. I'm really interested in what other people think right now. I think that I'd rather win a Stanley Cup. Now, I know it's 1 championship compared to 2 championships, but realistically, a lot of people would probably agree with me on this. The hardest trophy to win in sports is probably the Stanley Cup. If we're talking about the 4 main sports, the Stanley Cup. I don't want to throw the World Cup in there because then that just makes everything all goofy, and then the World Cup and the Stanley Cup are like neck to neck. But I'm like eliminating the World Cup from this. So like the 4 main sports, like the World Series, Stanley Cup, Lombardi Trophy, and the NBA Championship. I think that I would go with the Stanley Cup because I think it is the hardest thing to win. Lombardi Trophy, if you have a really solid team around you, you can go, back-to-back Super Bowl winners. I know it hasn't happened in a long time, but I think you would be able to do that. So I'm going to go with the Stanley Cup on this, chat. That's my reasoning. If you disagree with me, please put it in the comments. I want to see what your opinion is on this. This has been the Lorenzo Primerano Show, and there will probably only be 1 more, and I'll have to take a 2-week break because of vacation. But after that, I'll have 2 weeks worth of news for you, so that episode should be pretty long. Make sure to go follow my Twitter at Lorenzo_12_24 for all daily Philly sports news. And this has been the Lorenzo Primerano Show, and we will see you next week.